Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Life episode 404 Community Questions. I am one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709, and with me is my bestest buddy, Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello.
And I'm back in my own stomping grounds.
All right.
Hopefully, I sound okay to everybody because in my ears, I'm fading in and out really bad.
Hey, you sound okay.
Okay, that's
That
good.
must be a personal problem.
Could be going deaf in this one and can't hear out the other one, so.
Thief.
So no,
And it's
it's my setup. It's just the way the things work. All of a sudden, it gets loud with the mic, depending where I'm sitting. But as long as
oh,
it comes through to everybody else, then
gotcha.
all is great. And hello to Carbide, our first Twitch viewer and commentator of the evening. So,
Nice.
and I will say this: he's the only one here so far. But you don't want to leave, Carbide. Don't leave too early tonight. We have a giveaway that for those that are in the Twitch, you guys are gonna have the first opportunity to snag a little prize. So we actually have two giveaways this evening as well. So
Two? Can I get one?
negative. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. So anyways,
I don't like this.
we broadcast live every Sunday night, roughly around 10 p.m. Eastern time. And at least that's what our intended time is. We usually about 15 minutes later when Rob gets ready to when he gets ready. Wait,
I'm
gotta
high
wait for the king.
maintenance.
Yeah, you're high
High
maintenance.
maintenance and also fashionably late all the time.
So we are here, and let's start off with what Rob has been playing this week.
Sure. So this week primarily for me it's been the Forza 3 demo, Forza Horizon 3 demo. It finally came out the other day after we talked about it on the last show and eagerly anticipated it and were teased by the Microsoft Store. But it finally came out. I don't even remember when it was, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But man, it's like coming back to an old friend. It's it's good times. Looks so beautiful. I can't wait for the full game to begin. I think the Forza Horizon 2 demo was the same way, where you basically had to start the whole thing from scratch every time that you played it. Do you remember if that was the case? Or was that
Yes, yes, I believe that was the case, and it was like the first, I don't know, 10 minutes of the game or something like that. So when you got the retail game, you when you first started it, you were playing what that demo was.
mm-hmm,
So,
that's right.
so that's why I didn't play the demo. I didn't touch it because I
Well, I
know what
went
it's
through it
gonna be.
twice. I went through it twice. It was a good time. But like I said, it's like seeing an old friend and you immediately get the familiarity. You're noticing all the stuff that's different. You're noticing that you can't drive on the right side of the road anymore because you're in Australia. They drive on opposite side. So if you instinctively go to the right, you're going to have problems all the time because you're going to have cars in your face.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say that again. The game. They actually in the game you drive on the wrong side of the road for us, so
Well, it's
we
the
have to
wrong
drive on the
side
wrong
for
side of the.
us. It's the wrong side for us
Oh
because
man.
we drive on the right side, right?
Well,
At least I do. I don't know about you.
I drive pretty much anywhere I can, but in real life, yeah, on the right side of the road. In
You,
video
you like
games, it's open
you
open
like to
season.
drive on that dashed line on the road because that shows you that's like your GPS. It tells you where to
Yeah,
go.
exactly. That's the line you're supposed to follow, just like in
That's
video
right.
games. You put it right through the middle of your car and you
Yeah.
drive.
No, but yeah, so you're driving on the left side of the road
Wow.
down there. If you gravitate towards the right, you just get reminded. But it actually didn't take very long to get used to that. But yeah, the game's beautiful. It's a little bit of a different spin on the game because now you're trying to do Forza festivals. You're trying to you're trying to earn your experience points and stuff that you normally do, your credits, your experience points, but you're also earning fans so you can open festivals, which is like another way to progress through the game, I would guess. So in the demo, we don't see a whole lot with that. And then also got to play a little bit of the online free roam this evening, and I let my son play. And man, when you let an 8-year-old play,
They don't get very far,
and
do they?
he actually does pretty good, but he like slammed into this guy who was somebody else that was free roaming, and then he got chased like for the next 10 minutes. And my son was a little upset. He's like, "Why is he chasing me?" I'm like, "Well, you smashed into him. That's hit and run. It's like real life."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out now that it's going to be well, like cross-platform and all the functionality that they're adding to it. That's brand new to Forza Horizon 3. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to. One thing I was thinking about was I wonder if they purposely release these demos a little bit earlier to start building the Drivatars. Because there's a whole bunch of people in there that I got to race against, and I don't remember seeing anybody like from the group that supposedly didn't play it already. So like I didn't see you anywhere, but I saw a couple other folks,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Well, you
it
didn't see
was
me because I was so far in front of you. That's why you didn't see
no,
my Drivatar.
dude. I remember your Drivatar from Forza Horizon 2. You're not a prob. You're not a prob. I'll leave you in the dust.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
The dust
I can.
after
I,
my Drivatar
yeah,
slams into you
I
and
could
spins
talk
you
the
out in
talk,
the dirt.
right? No, but yeah. So Forza Horizon, that's been my main thing this week, and something else. Oh, what the heck was it? Nah, it's escaping me now. But yeah, that's my main thing. How about you? What have you not been playing?
Well, real quick, if anybody hasn't noticed, and we got the question, "Where's Braun?" Braun is out sick tonight, so he'll probably be back with us next week. So what I played this week, as you guys heard last week, I've been traveling. I've been out of town for
Yep.
2 weeks. I got home late last night, so my time zones are all messed up. So I ended up waking up really early Pacific time,
Oh,
and it was like 7:30 this morning. I was down here hooking up my Xbox because I had disconnected it because I was going to take it with me, and then I just had way too much stuff to take, and I couldn't, so I had to leave my baby here. But so I plugged her in at 7:30 and started downloading some stuff and getting caught up over the last 2 weeks.
hmm
And so I played a little Dead Rising. I put that in. Oh my gosh, man, that game is dated. It's
oh wow, yeah.
it's so different from Dead Rising 3, and I know it's gonna be so different from Dead Rising 4.
Oh, so you played the first one?
I got the first one. This is Dead Rising.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
triple pack came out last week, so I've got Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 2 off the record. So I've got all three of those to play. I played the original Dead Rising back on 360 like years and years and years ago, but I didn't like it, and because it was all time based. Well, then when Dead Rising 3 came out, they got rid of that timer. I decided to give it a try, and I loved the game. Loved it. Well, this one's got the timer in it, so we're gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna try to get through it. But we'll see. We'll see how much I get done because so many games are coming out here, starting like next week. Really starts the big rush.
Right. Right.
But I played a little of that. I didn't get a lot of time on that because I basically spent most of the time playing Star Trek Online.
Really?
Yes, I was not aware of this until it released, and I was like, "What? Star Trek
Yeah.
Online, free to play on
It did
Xbox One?"
come. It did come out of nowhere, kind of.
Yeah. It's a free to play game. It's by the same people that made Neverwinter Nights, which I actually really enjoyed. Um, and so I started that up today. I gotta say, this game is, I'll tell you what, for free to play, this is a pretty darn good game. Um, if you like Star Trek or you like, you know, MMOs, this is a pretty fun game.
Aren't you supposed to like carry out missions or something like from the TV shows?
I don't know what they're from the TV shows, but there are missions, and you can pick like you can be the Klingons, Romulans, or the Enterprise, or the Federation. And you pick so you pick like your affiliation. Then you go in, and it's like you select your race and your gender and all this type of stuff. So you create your character, and then you go through kind of a storyline, and you can bring other people in. We haven't quite figured this one out. I think, from what it seemed today, I got two people were Romulans, and I had another guy that was with me who was with the Federation. All four of us were in a game together. We could see each other in space, and then, but when I went into a mission, only one guy could follow me. The guys that were Romulans could not go on the mission. So I think if you want your buddies to help you out, they all have to be on the same group, or this, they all have to be
Yeah,
part of the
makes
same
sense.
faction, if you will. So it's probably, and you know what I can see, and this is a game because of that. I could see myself creating three different characters and playing through all the different storylines three different times. And that way, when you want to play with someone or get in a group, you can pick whichever race or not a faction, if you will, to play in and join them. I actually think I could see myself having more than one character in this
Oh
game.
wow.
Um, it does have some issues. I ran into a few glitches. One did require me to log out and go right back into the game, but it put me right where I was, and I was able to continue. So it was nothing like terrible or game breaking.
Is that like those old Xbox 360 updates? Remember that? Must apply the update. Log out.
No, no, this one just
Yeah.
I was standing on the bridge, and it's like, okay, go to the lift. What do you call it? I can't even think of it. Turbo lift.
Turbo lift.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like running in place. It's like I couldn't move, even though there was nothing in my way. My character couldn't move. So I logged out, logged back in. I was standing in the exact same place, and then just moved forward and it walked forward. So it was probably a server side glitch or something because the game's all online.
Sure.
I ended up playing for a very long time today. Most of my day I was playing this game.
Oh really?
There is ground-based
Wow.
combat, so you have away team missions where you do shoot on the ground. You are in your ship and you do ship-to-ship battles, which those are a lot of fun. Those are my favorite part of the game. The ground-based combat's a little corny because you have like a personal shield, so it's like there's no getting in cover and shooting, and it's like you're just standing there, pew pew pew. It's kind of pretty bad, and you're using these phasers and stuff, so it's not like like with a machine gun, which you're used in like jam.
Yeah.
So you can pull your trigger all day, and all it does is go pew pew pew.
Is it on stun?
No, I think there's upgrades and stuff. There's so
Yeah.
much to this game that it's really hard to get into because like even with Neverwinter, it was just like I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand it. There was so much to it. And there is here. What I don't like about the game is their HUD. It's like I don't know if it's the colors or whatnot. I cannot tell. Like you can. They've got like your little diamond shaped dude, and then there's like another like a arrow point around it. So one of them will show you which way you're looking, and the other one's showing which way you're walking. And then and it's like instead of like some games, I prefer the games where if you turn to the right, so like the map will turn instead of just your guy turning. And this one, like the map background doesn't spin, so your guy. And I don't know. I'm just having a hard time like adjusting to the little HUD map, trying to figure out where to go. And then it's like there's so much detail on there that I'm like I can't see on there like when it's like because it's like just the coloring. It's like your buddies, your co-op partners are white, you're white. There's all these other things on there that's white, so it's like well I got to go into like the big map maybe to try to find where your co-op partners are with. But I'm not trying to beat it up. I mean these are pretty nitpicky things. So um,
Sure.
I played for quite a while. We actually I want a big shout out to Gunny Chief, uh, Mars, Warlord Mars. he's changed his name a couple times. I think he's Warlock or Warlord Mars now. Mars, I just call him Mars. Artemis 74, Wrangler Actual. So thank you to you four guys. They got on, and there was another guy, Prodigy, got on. So you can have 5 people. We thought it was 6 that was required to create our fleet, which is your clan. And actually, you can only have 5 people in a game. So you and 4 friends can get together and run around. So we
Okay.
got all together, the 5 of us, and I was able to create this Xbox Life fleet. So we can go in and share. We have like a shared bank, shared inventory. So people can go in if they got stuff, they can share it. They can put it in like the bank and share it with other players. So you can go in there and take stuff and put stuff back in, share with other gamers in the group, um, and stuff like that. So if you're looking, just look up this Xbox Life with the spaces in the name as it should be, and join our fleet. And whenever I log in, I'll go through and I'll promote everybody so they can invite other people as well. So that's, but yeah, Star Trek Online. It's fun. It's gonna take a lot though to get into it. I think there's so much to it. The guys were saying like there's things you can do with altering your ship shields and put power to your
Wow.
shields and stuff. But you're like a level 20 before they even start to tell you that in the game. They're like, oh, by the way, they're like, man, I could have known that 6 hours ago. It would have been great to know that. So it's kind of weird. There's things on the screen like I don't know what my character does. They show you hit this button and they have an icon next to it, but like, well, what does that do? I don't understand what that does. Um, so there's a lot of stuff, and there's an inventorying and upgrading items. And if you
Wow.
played Neverwinter, then you have an idea. I mean, really, it's Neverwinter themed in Star Trek, really, but it's really good. They do have like these community events. Like I wasn't able to get into one earlier, and I don't know. Maybe you got to be a certain rank before you can go into them. Because it'd be like this event in space and this big red. I forgot what they call it, a spatial event or something. But it's like if everybody runs over to it, it's some big giant battle, space battle. It's like one of those public events. Well, I would
Sure.
run into it and it would just kind of like bounce me, or I drive through it or fly through it. I mean, so I don't know if maybe you got to be a certain level before you can participate in those. I don't know. Doesn't say anything, but yeah, it's fun. The map trying to get around is a little confusing, but there's ways to kind of just take some time to figure it out. And if you hit people up, we got some very experienced players in the fleet, so you can game up, hook up with them, and ask them questions. I know they'd love to help you out. So check it out. Free to play game. You can put money into it if you want, but it's not required. So,
Okay.
but again, with these types of games, if you put a lot of time in it, I gave money to these guys for Neverwinter Nights. I actually ended up putting lots of hours into that game. I can see probably doing the same here. The problem with this, I wish this game would have come out in the summer, because this came out right before. I mean, next week Forza comes out, XCOM 2 comes out, and then we hit. We're going to get into the Titanfall 2 and Gears 4 and Battlefield 1, and I mean, it's just like this was a really bad time to release this. I think they should have put this out. They should have been prepared to put it out much earlier, because I think this could have
It's
dominated the summertime.
it's a bad time to release a good game.
It is, and it is. I mean,
If it was
yeah,
bad, we wouldn't care.
yeah. So I reckon if you like
Yeah.
Star Trek, and I think anybody that likes Star Trek will like the game.
Oh
Is it the best? No, but it's free, and there's just a tremendous amount of stuff to do, um, and it was fun. I actually did have fun today. So,
and it's got to be better than the mobile games that they've had over
oh
the
yeah.
last couple of years.
So
And this is so I'm a big Trek fan, and I was really excited about this, and I immediately loaded it. And then once I started seeing what was involved, it was almost not intimidating, but it was like, man, I don't have the time right now today to even like start this. It's like I'll do it later, and I find myself just staying away from it just because it seems like it's so involved. And I think you kind of confirmed that.
Oh yeah. Yep. It's
But
quite a
that's
bit.
not a bad thing.
No,
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. Check it out. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right. Oh, and again, I'm already messing everything up by not hitting my little boxes here. All right. So let me try to get back online here. So yeah, that was what we were playing. So you can support us, become a patron by going to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon. This is a monthly support, so you decide you'll go in and say, hey, I want to give these guys $1, $5, $10, whatever, and it's every month. It'll automatically take it off of the debit credit card, whatever you provide, and then that comes to us, and it's just another way for you to support the show. I want to say big thanks. We got 2 new patrons this week actually. Tanks and Dragons was one, and also Andrew Seuss, who we will hear from later in the show. So thank you guys, and I think Andrew would love to have Andrew on the show, um, and I think you'll find out why. But I think it's going to be really, really tough to hook up with this guy because he's in Australia. But I think we need to figure something out and see if we can get him on here. So he's we get to hear from him a little bit later. But also, if you do not wish to support us every single month, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but maybe not. And that's fine. You can go to thisxboxlife.com/donate, and that will take you to our donation page. This is a one-time donation, and this actually is where you'll get your name on the little $sign down there, showing the latest donation. So we appreciate that. So if you guys want to knock Armistice off there, you gotta put the tip in at the donate page. Alrighty. That takes us into our topics. So I didn't have anything this week. I just couldn't find anything really worth talking about. So, but Rob came through and he's got a few things, and then I threw it out to the community and said, "Hey guys, what do you want to talk about? What do you want us to talk about?" And they came through in fine fashion. So, Rob, why don't you give us a few news items that you had, and then we'll hit
Sure.
this list.
All right. Got a couple things. First off, wanted to mention that we hit a milestone with the backwards compatibility list. The 360 compatibility, no, Xbox One compatibility list of 360 titles. Does that sound better? All right.
Sure. Yeah, that's it.
So when this program launched, was that last year that it launched? Or was it 2 years
I think
ago?
it's been 2 years.
2 years now?
2 years.
Okay. So in the 2 years that it's launched, and I think actually, wasn't it 2 years ago that it launched for preview members? And then when that update hit, like around November-ish or something, I think that's when it went live for everybody in November. Because I don't think they had anything in December. Anyway, no matter. They hit a milestone with that. Over 250 games are now backwards compatible. That is just a crazy amount. That's probably more titles than they have for the Xbox One right now. But yeah, they keep adding more and more titles to this every month, and let's see more. Actually, how much is really left of like really good titles?
Oh, I think there's still a lot. I think the
Still a
Xbox
lot,
360 had like well over
thousands of games.
600 titles. I think, yeah, probably a
Really?
thousand.
Oh, it's got to be more than that.
Well, yeah. I
Anyway,
mean, I have no idea. I don't know what the full library list
it's more than five. Let's just say that
is.
they have more
Well,
than
it's more than
five games.
250. I know that.
Yeah, it's true. That's
So,
true. So yeah, big milestone. Very cool. Very, very cool. And then the other thing that was pretty interesting was that Microsoft has sold, what was it, over 79,000, close to 80,000, maybe over 80,000. I forget the exact number right now because I don't have the number in front of me. But approximately 80,000 of the new controllers. And this is the Design Lab ones, right?
I think it no, I don't think it
or
was the custom
it's
ones,
just the
but it was
control?
the
Okay.
new Xbox One S controller. So it was the custom ones plus
Plus
any that
regular.
people went into the store and just bought like the white ones,
Yeah.
but they are the new ones. This is the S
Mm-hmm.
model with the Bluetooth included. That's a
So
lot of controllers in what, 2 months?
because the Xbox One S, the 2 terabyte version, that shipped in like early August. So less than 2 months. So it's a lot of folks looking to get the controllers.
Yes.
Very, very nice. And yeah, that's about it for the stories.
All right, cool. So then what we have now, like I said, I went into poll from the community and said, "Hey guys, what do you want us to talk about this week?" So got a couple of looks like really three guys. There were several people sounding off. Some of the stuff I didn't select because we had talked about it like last week, and then of course it just sparked a lot of comments and replies back to people. So I did have to cut it off. If you put something in there, I apologize if we did not um, cover it tonight because I did it pretty quick before we started recording. And as we were starting, I was still hearing the comments come on that thread, and it was going ding, ding, ding on my Facebook. So I was like, okay, I gotta close Facebook and cut this off at this point. So it wasn't that your question was no good. It was just we grabbed. I got 9 of them here, and I thought that was plenty. So the first one's from Jeremy. He says, "Why should we get a Scorpio? Will it be the next Xbox or just the best way to play new games? And then what original Xbox games would you play on backward compatibility?" So he's actually got 3 games here. So first of all, why should we get a Scorpio? And I mean, I think we've covered that. Again, I don't know if we really need to go into it a whole lot, but really, the only reason I think you're going to need it is if you have a 4K setup
Right.
and or you want VR. So if you want 4K gaming and you want VR and or then you need a Scorpio. Period.
And another possibility too is if you're replacing an Xbox, let's say that either you're giving away or that went out on you or something like that, or you just want a second one. To me, sometimes it makes sense to just get the newest one, or at least that's an excuse to get the newest one. Works for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So will it be the next Xbox or just a way to play the new games? So this has been, if you guys listen to Horrible Gamers, they went really big into this about Jesus was like it's next gen and what's his name, was it Ryan? I think it was Ryan. Gunny's in the chat. He'll correct me, but if I'm wrong. But they were just beating up on Ryan. He's like, it's not next gen. It's kind of going the route of the PC. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, when does a PC ever truly experience a next gen? You never, do you ever really have next gen PCs? You really don't. You're always just upgrading the hardware, right? And then things take advantage of it. In the console wars, you're always replacing the hardware. It's like the whole box gets upgraded, and that's what makes it a next generation. Um, but I think most of us here, and we talked about this in the past, we all feel it is the next gen, even though Microsoft says they're not doing like another generational thing. This is kind of going away from it. So we're gonna have to start changing our mindset and probably wrapping around more of like thinking of this as like your iPhone or your Android phones. You know, we replace our phones every year or 2 years, and we don't really think of them as next generation. Even the new iPhone 7 that just came out, I saw one the other day. Someone I know got one, and I was looking at it. I'm like, it's really nothing different. Really, it's got a faster chip. It's got a better camera, and that's about it. All the software stuff is, guess what? I got that too on iOS 10. I mean, they don't get anything other than the hardware changes. Um, so I think we can kind of look at it like the Scorpio really being kind of like that. There's some hardware changes that are going to allow for different things, but you still have the software that an original Xbox One will have. So you can still play all those games. The difference is going to be VR games. You're going to have a Scorpio.
Right.
Or if you want the 4K version of the best version, think about Gears of Halo 6 is going to come out. it's gonna be 4K game. That is gonna be a true 4K game without a doubt. If you want that, you're gonna have to have the 4K TV, and you're gonna have to have Scorpio. Period. It is the next evolution, the next progression, if you will. So,
Yep.
and what original Xbox game, Rob? Go turn on the Wayback Machine.
Oh
What game,
man.
Xbox original, would you want to play on backward compatibility? And it's not far fetched question because Phil Spencer said he wanted this to happen. They wanted the
Sure.
original games on the, and they, I'd almost think they could do it because there was a lot of Xbox games that were playable on 360. Well, now 360 is playable on the one. You'd almost think if they've got the emulation for the 360 that you could probably play your original Xbox games through that 360 emulation, right? Be an emulator on an emulator.
Yeah, yeah.
um, but I know I'd want Hunter the Reckoning, so that's I would play that series. In fact, I do. Someone in our community, I can't believe I forgot who it was. Was it Naudius? I apologize. I forgot who gave that to me. I went out and bought an original Xbox, and someone in our community sent me that game. They actually found it for me, and I had a. It doesn't work. I don't. But I think it's the Xbox. It starts up. The game starts up, and but when it goes to play, it fails. And I don't know. The disc looks great. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the discs. I think it's the drive or something wrong with the box. So I need to track down another original Xbox someday and try it on there because I really want to play it. So anything
Man, this is such a hard question. Mainly because I'm having trouble remembering
Mech
that far
Assault.
back. I remember what was it? Overlord was a huge favorite of mine. And they're coming out with I thought they came out with a new spin on that game recently. But that game was awesome. There was also that one game with the guy and the dog.
Guy and the dog.
Oh, I don't remember what it was called.
Don't know.
It was one of the first titles that came out for it.
I don't know.
Well, whatever it is. Um, and a lot of the games that were really popular for it, we've also got in one form or another, and it's like the newer versions of the games. Like the Halos.
Yeah.
What Halo? The original Halo came out, and we've
Yeah.
got that.
Yep.
Halo 2 was it Halo 2 on
Halo
the
2
original
was
or
a
the
360
360?
title. Yeah, because that launched Xbox Live. Um, we got the Xbox Live multiplayer and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
And I remember
was that?
Fable
Maybe that
was
was
really
original
popular.
Xbox because the original Xbox had Live as well.
Oh,
That's right.
Graw.
That's right. It was. It was on the original. So because when they shut down original Xbox Live,
Mhm.
the original for the original console, there were still people playing Halo 2 multiplayer, and,
Yeah.
and they went past the cutoff date, and Microsoft let it go for a while.
Hmm.
Christoph said, "Are you thinking of True Crime? Didn't that have a dog?"
Maybe.
But
It was
yeah,
like a German Shepherd or something.
Mech Warrior was one. Hawk mentioned Mech Warrior. I used to play that one
Yeah.
too. So good stuff.
Or oh man, what was it? There's a couple really cool Burnout games
Oh, I
on the
think with Burnout
original.
Revenge, I think was on there. I think that was the one my wife even played that one. Her and I used to swap the controller back and forth on the
Nice.
what was it, crash mode, and
Hmm.
she'd go down and do the crash and see how much money she could do, and then I would do it. Whoever
Yes.
had the higher score, the other person would play it, keep playing until they beat that score, and then they'd hand the controller back, and then I'd sit there and try to beat hers. But it was
Oh
it was
wow.
awesome. We had so much fun doing
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah, that game
So
was classic.
yeah,
And
she
the newer versions. I mean, I don't think they captured the essence of it,
No,
at least not that thing, where you're going through the intersection, because that was so much fun.
it was, and you try different approaches and do different things, and it was awesome, man. That was
Oh yeah, and Graw
well,
wasn't that on the
yeah.
original Xbox?
No, I don't think so. I think Gra was a there was a Ghost Recon. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think there was a Ghost Recon on the original one, but Gra and Gra 2 were 360 games.
Okay,
So,
and it's hard to remember going back 15
it is.
years.
That's all. I lucky if I can remember what I had for breakfast, let alone. So, all right. Well, I think we got
Yeah.
that one
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
So, all right. So Jeremy continues. Says, "Are you disappointed that Bioshock didn't come to backwards compatibility? Instead, it went the repack of the re-release and made us pay the $60. What do you think, Rob?"
I was wondering about it. I thought for a long time that it would be on backwards compatibility, but I'm not surprised. It's a little bit of a cash grab. And I really haven't looked at the screenshots of the new title to really know if they look all that much better. Have,
I think
have you
it
seen it?
was. I believe it was. I want to say Carbide, who's in our chat tonight. Thought he posted in the Facebook group saying he was playing and it looked awesome.
Okay.
They did do, I guess, some work to it, and the games do include like all the DLC, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so you get the full Bioshock package for $60. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think again, my thought was, well, that's just something they avoided going backwards compatibility. So my guess is the publisher said, well, we can go back compat and get nothing out of it, or we could repackage this, put a few dollars into it to upres everything and re-release it and make $60 on it for everybody that buys it. So
And there were some titles that were in the back compat list. Wasn't it like Red Dead? It was $30, or was it $20? It was like 20 or $30.
Red Dead Redemption,
So
you can get it for. I think when that came out, you could buy. What was it? It was like $7.
really,
Yeah, it was like $7
I remember
digitally.
looking at it. It was pretty expensive, so I held off on it.
Now I remember the day it came out, people were nabbing it
Yeah.
up because I had the disc, but I was like, man, I should almost
Yeah.
just plunk the $7 down to buy the whole digital version,
So you don't need
and I don't
disc
even need
anymore.
the disc. Yeah, just
Yeah.
kind of that future proofing because
Yep.
then you do have the game, and if you lose the disc or it gets cracked or broken or scratched, well then the game's no good, and then you're hunting down for a new disc.
Mhm.
Here it's like, well, then I'd always have it. But so I don't know what the price is today.
Right.
All right.
Actually, I'll look it up real quick. I'm curious now.
It didn't really disappoint me. I'm not disappointed as long as they do something with it. And for me, if I was going to play them again, if they were backward compatible, then you have to have the disc. Otherwise, you got to buy it, and I don't have those discs anymore. So to
Yeah.
me, I didn't care in that aspect. But had I had the games and wanted to play them again, then yeah, I would say, yeah, this kind of stinks that they're making me pay to play them again. Um, but the fact that they did do some work to it, at least they did that. They didn't just push it out. Like I think this triple pack Dead Rising, they didn't do anything to it. These are all original. I mean,
Hmm.
it's game game doesn't look. I don't know if they did anything to them. It's hard to tell. So it's
Yeah.
that's more of a cash grab in prep of what you call it, the fourth one coming out.
Yeah. Red Dead right now is $29.99.
So okay, still a great game.
Yeah. But for $30, it would be nice to get a remastered version. But it's still a good game.
Yeah, yeah. All right, why don't
Yeah.
you
So
take?
the Bioshock is 3 titles, right?
Yes,
So you figure they're $20 each for remastered, whatevered.
it's a great value.
Yeah, it is.
There's
If you
no
don't have
question.
any of the others.
Right, that's the question. Is like you know they did all this backwards compatible and they released it instead of doing backwards compatible. But again, the backwards compatible thing is not up to Microsoft. they actually have to go to the publishers and get approval to do it. So what because again, the publishers look at it like, well, we could, or the devs and the publishers look at it and say, well, we could spend a few bucks and bring it to the platform natively and basically resell it and make more money. If they do backwards compatible, they don't really get anything unless somebody says, oh, I see Bioshock 1 is on the Xbox One game store. It's backwards compatible, means I can play it on my Xbox, and they've never done that game. Then they're gonna the publishers, and they would get the money from that because that'd be a sale. But for someone who already had the disc, they don't make any money off someone playing it again, and that's what they want to do. So if they
Yes.
could, they'd charge us every time we played something. So,
Not so loud they might hear you.
yeah, oops, scratch that. All right, why don't you take the next one?
All right. This is also another question where he goes, where do you see VR in 2 years? You want to take that or?
Uh, that's why I said you take it.
All right.
I don't know, man.
So I've got a little bit of speculation. I think that, what we see today with the Oculus and, the other systems, it's like the start. I don't think that VR is going to die out. I think it's just going to find a niche and it's just going to stick there. So, the people that can get the experience by affording it are going to go to it. But I think a lot of people, that aren't hardcore gamers, they're going to stay away. And we're probably going to see more and more augmented reality. That's where, it's sort of like the HoloLens type of experience where you see generated whatever in your environment. Like you see something sitting on a table or on the floor or on the wall. I think we're going to see more of that stuff because just the full on Oculus and you know Vive experience. It's just it sucks you into an environment and you don't know what's going on and you need to be careful. There's a liability thing, like what happens if you fall off and you you know hurt yourself on your table or fall downstairs. Who knows? Um,
I see a lot of that happening. I mean, look how many
yeah,
people broke their TVs with the Wii remotes,
sure, right.
And I mean, now if people are, yeah, I see a lot of people, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone actually die by tripping or falling over their glass coffee table or cracking their
Hmm.
skull on their entertainment center. I mean, you know, people, not everybody has a lot of space and a big empty room to play in, and even the systems I've seen now where these guys they're still corded. They got a cord that runs from your device to your head, so you still got this cord that can trip you up too. Um, yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of years. But I'm with you. I don't know if it's I don't know if it'll stick around. I think it's going to eventually go away. It's kind of my
Really?
thought, and I think it'll die off faster than motion controls did.
Oh
But
wow.
I think I think this year and next year, I think will be its probably most popular because it's new and it's going to be available for everybody in the consoles, and I think a lot of people are going to get it just to try it out. But then I think it's, I mean, did you watch? Was it Giant Bomb did this thing with all these different games in VR, and they
Oh
did like,
yeah, it was like
and
hours.
I'm sitting there like, this is stupid. Like someone was sitting in an office. Oh, take this file and put it over here. It's like the game was them working in an office. I was like, really? Another one was this kitchen game that was so pathetic. He's like, oh, I'll take this cup and I'll pour juice and I'll stick it here and I'll ding the bell and it magically disappears. And it's like you're a kitchen and a short order cook or something. I was just
Right.
like, it looked so stupid. I didn't see anything that looked like, oh my gosh, I gotta play this. You know, so I think they've got, from what I've seen so far, you've got the really stupid stuff like that, and then you've got the stuff that's going to be freaking over the top amazing, but it's going to be so good that you're going to wet yourself, like that. Was it Resident Evil 7? Uh, demo. You know, it's going to be like all these horror things. So I think there are going to be like a lot of horror games, and that can really mess you up. You know, because I just, I don't know. I just, I just don't see this thing lasting. It takes you putting head stuff on your head and blocking off everything. And people with glasses, that creates another problem. You know, I just don't know if it's going to last. They're really going to have to come up with some amazing experiences to keep people vested in
Well, one thing that I think that is pretty interesting is that using this VR experience, there's a, I don't know if you would call it a game or an experience at Madame Tussauds. I think it's the Wax
it.
Museum.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Did you hear about this? The Ghostbusters thing?
Uh-uh.
So this is in New York City. It's like $50 or something to play this game. And what you do is you strap on, some kind of VR headset and you wear a backpack, which is probably where the computer is or laptop or whatever it is.
Okay.
So you strap this system, where you wear a backpack essentially, and then you have like this little plastic gun, and you put this, you put everything on, and it's a shared experience with a couple of different people. And what you do is you walk into the space and you're living the Ghostbusters experience where like you're walking through a room and you see a table, you can actually touch the table because there's a table there really in real life.
So that's like an AR, not VR.
Well, it's VR where you're not looking at the real table, you're looking at a computer generated table. You can't, I don't think you can see like your buddies. Let's say, like if you and I went in there, you can't see me, but you see a computer generated version of me. And you look like a Ghostbuster. You're wearing like the whole backpack. You got the Ghostbusters plasma gun or whatever it is,
Right.
and you're totally in the experience, but you're moving through an environment that's built for this experience. So you're experiencing VR in terms of what you see and what you hear, but you can also feel the environment because if you back up against the wall in a hallway, you're in a real hallway. So you have those like physical limitations as well. And on this one board game podcast that I listened to, they were talking about it, and this one guy was saying is like he wasn't really thinking that he was going to get into that experience as much, but this one section has you like step out onto the ledge of some kind of building. I guess you're chasing a ghost or whatnot.
Uh-huh.
You have to step out onto the ledge, and he's like, I wouldn't go just because you know you just see everything, like you see the drop. It's very real.
Yeah, but see,
And
something like that's different though. That's
okay.
you going somewhere
Oh,
and
I
you're
see.
in a dedicated space set up for that one single
True.
experience.
True.
So that to me, I would probably love that. I think that would be awesome. It'd be very
Hmm.
expensive, but I can see like VR being in amusement places, places like you just mentioned, but not in the home because your homes don't
Right.
have that setup, and
True.
you don't have the space, and you really can't run through a environment room to room and to get that experience like what you said, like if they're going from different rooms and they can step out on a ledge and all of a sudden they're getting rained on, or maybe they're walking out on a metal walkway, but in the headset they're seeing something else, but it's
Right.
all they're gonna feel that they're gonna hear the outside noise maybe, or they're gonna feel the cold wind, and they're like, oh, I am stepping out on a ledge, but
Hmm.
they actually are changing rooms. You can't do that in your in your house.
True. Right.
So I
Right.
think the experience is going to be like the very first time someone does it. I imagine a lot of people that get PlayStation VR for the first time coming out this year, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is great!" But we thought the same thing about Wii Bowling.
Yeah.
A month or two later, it's like it's probably never going to get touched. It's going to collect dust.
Right. Yeah. Nobody
You know,
wants any part of it.
right? It's just like, well, this is boring, and we're getting all this. garbage games that people are quickly, because you're going to get a lot of people quickly throwing anything on VR to sell it because people are going to want to buy it because it's something new. But there's really I think it's going to run its course a lot faster than what motion controls did. I really do.
Sure.
You look at it
Yeah.
today, the Wii U doesn't have motion controls, right? The
Right.
PlayStation never really, they did provide it, but it was never a big thing for them. Microsoft got in with Kinect. Now we have Kinect, and it doesn't do a single freaking game. I think there's what, 3 games on the Xbox One that use Kinect controls. That's it. It's
Seems
like
like it.
gone.
Yeah.
It's now it's become basically voice commands and stuff like that. So even that's going to go away. So I do think VR is going to run its course a lot faster, just for that same type of experience. You're overselling it, and it doesn't work in a room. But like what you said would be awesome, and I'd pay for that.
Hmm.
That would be fun to be a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
So,
For the home experience, it's got to be something that is, that has you still and the world moves around you. Like, I remember, I think it was for the PlayStation, there's a game where you're in a car, like you're a passenger in a car. Something like that you can experience because you don't need to move. You're sitting, just like, let's say, you normally would be when you're playing games. The problem's going to be when people like walk around and stuff. That is going to be the experience that is going to be not necessarily limited by the technology, but very limited, let's say, by liability. Because you strap those goggles on, you are shut out from the world around you,
yeah.
both audio and visual. Because I've got the Gear VR that I use with my phone. You put your headsets in, you don't know what's going on in the room. You don't know who's there, who's around you. Um, somebody could be picking your pocket for all you know,
Mm-hmm.
or tapping you on your shoulder while you're playing
Yeah.
Aliens versus Predator.
Can you
Eh,
imagine
eh,
an Aliens versus Predator in VR?
no, no,
I
it's
You wouldn't even
I
do it, would you?
no, I would not play it. I would
I don't
not
think
play
I
it.
would either.
Nope, nope, nope. Too scary, too scary.
As soon
But
as I hear the freaking that little motion tracker, the sound from that, just no, that creeps me out, dude. As soon as that came on, I'd be like, I'm out of here. I'd be ripping it
yeah,
off and running for the door.
yeah, you go from like heart rate, hundreds to like 150 like that. Well done, by Ridley Scott or whoever did him. But
Well, regardless, I
yeah,
think it's going to be interesting to see, where it is in 2 years.
yeah.
So
So you think it's going to fade away? I think it's going to evolve. What we have today is not where we're going to be.
I
And
think like the Hololens honestly is a better reality. I think that's something that will continue
yeah,
because I can see that. I still don't quite get it, but I can see that being used, which is what they've been marketing towards, is like the medical field, design and stuff like that. I can see businesses and making use of something like a Hololens device, but not VR. To me, what VR needs to go for it to really be of any value still is like a holodeck, but then it still doesn't help the home consumer.
right.
I love a holodeck. Anybody that's watched Star Trek knows what a holodeck is. That's the dream.
Yeah.
But
I really think that, right now in our mindset, we're really looking for the, like with telecommunications, we're looking for that like cell phone experience, like especially now what we have nowadays in 2016. But the products that we physically have in terms of VR are essentially like the telegraph. And it's going to be a while, it's going to change. And I think we just don't fully understand the technology yet as to what we're going to get. I don't think that this whole goggles thing, it's, there will be experiences like that, but I don't think it's going to be the VR that we're going to come to know and love. So, okay. I think we talked that one
yep.
pretty good.
So the next one's from David. He asks Microsoft has developed Scorpio to run 4K natively. He wanted our thoughts, and I believe he was basically asking, comparing it to how the PS4 recent announcement last week that their 4K is being upscaled. I think we should avoid this question. The reason why is I know, Christoph, we got a question about this from our community later on in an email. And I actually reached out to Christoph because this is what he does. He does AV stuff.
Yep.
And I actually invited him on tonight, but he was unable to make it. But he did send us a voicemail, and he wants to talk about this directly. So I'm going to let him answer that. Actually, why don't I just run it now?
Oh, and by the way, Christoph is a fierce competitor on Forza Horizon 3.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Okay, so let me. Hopefully I don't blast. Oh no, I don't want that. Hey, try it this way. Hopefully this don't blast anybody's ears.
Hey guys, this is Chris, Christoph on Xbox Live. Hey, I just wanted to chime in with my 2 cents about Sony's HDR update for original PS4s. I feel like Sony's not telling us something. It might show up soon because I think the HDR update is live now, so sites like Digital Foundry will be testing this to see if it's true or not. But True HDR 10 requires the connection HDMI 2.0A, which is a new connection standard, to support the bandwidth for HDR. Both the original PS4 and Xbox One only have HDMI 1.4. People have confirmed that. It requires that additional bandwidth for HDR to add what they call metadata, which is the ability to add additional color and brightness information to every single frame of video. HDMI 1.4 simply doesn't have the bandwidth to accommodate that. So a lot of people are thinking that maybe to accommodate HDR, they're dropping something else like HDCP, which is basically digital copyright protection. But any company that's done that in the past has been sued by Hollywood and video production companies for circumventing copyright protection. So unless they're technical wizards over there at Sony, this won't be true HDR, at least on the original PS4s. And if they did figure it out, you can bet Microsoft will be right on their tail with the original Xbox Ones. Anyways, great show, guys. Keep up the great work. I will talk to you later.
Cool. So what do you think, Rob?
That's good info.
So, yeah, we've got a question later on, and we'll get to it in emails. But there's a lot of that thinking the very same thing. So I appreciate Christoph sending that in for us. So we'll let him. He's the expert. We'll let him answer that for David.
Oh yeah, was that the one that he sent in after we started?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he had as soon as we started, he's like, "Hey, if I send you a voicemail to answer that question,
Mhm.
Will you be able to play it?" And I said, "Absolutely." So because I knew he was sending it, so I was looking for it. So.
Okay.
All right. Let's move to the next one.
All right, here, I'll take that one. So Jeremy writes in, I can't stand Madden 17, but loved 16. It's sometimes, is sometimes more not a good thing. The menus and additions have made it hard for anyone to just pick up and play.
Yeah.
I haven't played Madden, so I can't really comment on this one.
I haven't played Madden in a long time.
Yeah, where's Brun?
Yeah, sick. So no,
Maybe he's sick of the menus.
I do. I will say this. I know in some of the other sports games that I've played, I haven't played several for a couple of years now, but I do feel like I think it was some of the NBA games were just like I didn't even know how to get to a game. There were so many menus and so many different things. I was like, I just want to play. And so
Mhm.
if that's the way Madden's done it, and then I know Madden was always like in the game. There was just so many choices and options of what plays you were going to run. It was just like, wow. I'm just not smart enough or quick enough to get through all that. But yeah, I'd rather
They're
just
probably
like.
both.
That's why I like. What was that? Oh, come on! I can't even think of it now. The old basketball game, NBA Jam.
Oh, NBA
Is it the
Jam.
shoes? I mean, I
Yeah.
love that. It was simple game, fun to play. I don't need 1,800 bazillion options. Just is it the shoes? He's on fire. So,
That was classic. That one and NFL Blitz.
yep,
And wasn't there a hockey one?
probably. All right. before I move on, I did notice in the Twitch chat, Hawk was talking about his. He got his Connect adapter, and he was like, he made a comment about, yeah, it is big, and he asked me to show the box. So let me grab it. Rob, you got entertained for a second.
Sure. In silence. Where are you going for this box? Are you going across the street?
All right, I'm back.
Where'd you go? Did you go to Best Buy for this box?
Whatever. It was
Did you go to Fry's?
So let me. I don't know. Of course, I can't see the camera. It's gonna be a few seconds. Hopefully, you can see this, but this is a giant box. This was an adapter for the Kinect, and I figured it was just gonna be like a little tiny. I figured it would be something like this, like a little USB.
Yeah, that is pretty large.
You plug in one, but no, I get this gigantic box, and there's a power brick. So there's a cord into the power brick into this box. Then you plug. It's got a cable out, and you plug your Kinect like into the back end of here, and then you plug this into your Xbox S. Yeah, it's a big box. No wonder it's like $50 or whatever they're charging for it. I'd pay for the box. So, anyways, I just wanted to show that. I know Hawk was having a discussion of, show the sides, he says. So yeah, I mean, you can, that's the side of it, how wide it is.
So by making that Xbox One S smaller, did they leave all of that stuff out of it?
Well, they took the power brick out.
Yeah.
They put the. I'm sorry, they had to probably because they had to put the power inside the box. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just wasn't what I was expecting. So, but anyways, let's see. So Christopher says, "What are you looking forward to playing?" I just take it that he's asking about the rest of the year. I think I'm excited for a lot of things. XCOM 2, Forza 3,
sure, yeah.
Titanfall 2 is probably my most that I'm excited for. And Gears of War 4 and Dead Rising 4. I think those are my particular games that I'm really stoked about to play. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, a couple of those as well. And then also Dishonored. That one comes out in November. I'm drawing a blank on anything else. I think we hit most of the big titles, right?
Are you looking forward to Battlefield or Call of Duty? Not really.
No, not Battlefield. I've skipped the last couple of Call of Duties.
I said I wasn't going to buy the last one, and I guess I did somewhere because I own it. I don't even think I've played it. I don't know. I have no idea. I must have been bored one day and bought it for, I don't know.
Stupid Xbox store being
I know. Tell me about it.
So easy.
You already talked about Forza Horizon 3, so Jeremy asked about the demo. He said it was amazing. The variety of gameplay, stunts, and water effects are awesome.
Oh yeah, the rain is very cool. The water on the beach, awesome. They did a lot of work on this one.
Christopher says, talk about XCOM 2 and Titanfall 2. I don't really have much to say about it other than I want both. I got both pre-ordered, and yeah, I can't wait for them.
Let me ask this question. So with Xbox 2, is the graphics card and the CPU in the Xbox One enough to run this game? Or is it going to run slow?
I have no idea what it is because I couldn't run it on my PC. So
yeah,
but I could, but it was.
I think it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It doesn't need to be. I don't need it to be ultra on this. I just XCOM is a fun game. I just want it to be fun. So I think it'll look good. I've liked the last two XCOM games on the 360. I think it'll look better than those did. So yeah. Last question for the community this week. Christopher again says, "What are your What do you plan on using our Xbox Club for?" And he's referring to the new This Xbox Life group or club that is available for preview members, where you can join our club right from the dashboard. I guess I still need to go. I need to go boot up my original Xbox because I haven't seen it yet, and my S is not in the preview program, and it will not get in the preview program. I'm keeping that one out. but I'm keeping my other one in, so I need to go boot that up and look at the club and see what it looks like. But he says, and he says how's Wingman cannot use bad language even when he dies because the club is a bad language free zone.
We'll have to boot you then.
Well, first of all, if Brun made me, or was that you that set it up? That was you, right?
I set it up, yeah.
So did you make Brun and I admins?
You, I think Brun joined, so I made him an admin. You haven't joined yet.
Oh, well, okay, but you can make me an admin, right?
Maybe.
Well, then see, I just simply will change it to not be a bad language free zone. No, it's I try not to, guys. I really do. I just need to quit playing when I get stupid and start using foul language. So, but no, I appreciate. In fact, we had one of our entries. I forgot to mention this. One of the entries that we got from the Halo Master Chief Collection. They actually said, "Hey, I'm new. Been listening to the show for a little bit. They're new to Xbox One. They really like the show, and they really like that we are clean." So we strive to make it a clean show that you can listen to with your friends and family and kids, and
Sure.
it's great to hear from people that appreciate that. So that's why we do it, because people do appreciate that.
Absolutely, because I know with my son, we watch a lot of videos on YouTube and such, and you sometimes want to share the gaming experience with your kids and your family, and you don't want to have it be R-rated and
Yeah,
have to like cup your hands over their ears.
and I mean, not, and it's everybody in our group is, for the most part, everybody I've ever spoke to or met, there are adults, but you know what? Not everybody wants to hear that garbage, and unfortunately, I do try to keep it. But when I get upset or stressed, I tend to curse. So I will have to not do it, or Rob and Brun will kick me from the group.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'm not really sure what we're going to plan to do with the group. I don't really know what you can. I haven't seen it yet. So after we're done recording tonight, I'll go boot up my other Xbox One in another room and see if I got the update and go look at it and see. But I'm hoping that we can plan. I'm hoping that there's ability to like schedule events like FNL, and then we can put in FNL in there saying we're going to play, Forza 3 tonight, or we're going to do this, and that way people can go and look and go, oh, okay, TXL's doing this, and then I'm hoping that there's ways to pull people into the games, or just make message boards, or kind of have maybe we'll end up moving our group from Facebook into this club and just get away from Facebook. Then it's truly you have to have an Xbox, to be able to even get in it. That will help keep out the PS4 fanboys, right? I really don't know what we can do. I'm just hoping to.
And it's a brand new feature also.
Yeah.
So, they just rolled it out last week. It seems very minimal right now. We've got about 24 folks in there, and you can usually find, like in the evenings, a couple people sitting in the group. And at this point, it's not available to the general public. Again, like you had just said, Mark.
Yeah,
So
I'm not even in it yet. So.
yeah, so attendance is a lot lower than when it gets fully released. But
Oh yeah.
I think it's a pretty slick feature, and a lot of folks are definitely going to take part in it when it becomes generally available.
Absolutely.
I mean, it seems
I'll be
almost
in
like
there all the
a big
time.
party.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's like making our own Horizon Festival.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right. So I think I got to probably switch another graphic here. So I think I got to look through this. So you can leave us a voicemail if you wish. Go to our website, the6buckslife.com, and click on the right to leave us a voicemail. But before we do hear our voicemail that we have for tonight, I do want to say that we have been given Ozman, or Ozyman, or Ozman. Not sure how he pronounces it. Ozeman. He gave us another Halo Master Chief Collection code to give
Sweet.
away. And what I decided to do is, out of all the people that entered last time that had correct answers that didn't win, I just randomly drew a number from those that were still left and picked one of them. So those that had
Did I
entered
win?
before, you did not. I kicked you out.
Oh.
You were excluded. But
Ooh.
Lily in 2K3, you win. So I will send you your code today,
Sweet.
and via Xbox Live. And congratulations and a big thanks to Osmond. Appreciate that. All right, and for all those in our Twitch, you guys get first crack at this, and if you already have it or you don't want it, then go ahead and leave it. And for those listening audio, whenever Rob gets around to releasing it, just kidding, Rob.
Sorry.
You can try and see if the code is still available, but we are going to post a code for Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, courtesy of Skin. That is his gamer tag. So, actually, I'm going to let Rob... Oh, actually, I'm going to play... so I'll post that into Twitch in just a moment, so you all can get ready and to do your little copy and paste trick. And so I'll pull that out in a minute. But while we're doing that, I'm going to play this other voicemail we got from Andrew. And I will say, Andrew, apologize. We didn't get your full voicemail. It cut off after 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I don't know if that's a cutoff on our end or your end or what happened. But you are certainly welcome to send another one in to finish your thought. I'd also like to say that he did send us an email. And I think he was going to go in. He was talking about in this voicemail, he talks about he didn't like the soundtrack in Forza 3. So he created an alternate Australian-themed Spotify song list for our listeners, and it's called This Sunburnt Life. So if you're on Spotify, you can check out This Sunburnt Life for an Australian-themed playlist. So let's play his voicemail, and then I will get that code for you guys in Twitch. Oh, I didn't want to do it that way. I keep launching the wrong app. Too much to do. Here we go.
G'day, this Xbox Life. Richard Seuss here, gamertag Dixie Turner, your Patreon supporter from Melbourne, Australia. This weekend I've played the Forza Horizon 3 demo with my brother. I've relocated from Sydney to Melbourne just recently, and I took a divergent car trip the long way around the Great Dividing Range mountain range to reconnect and feel the old bones of this sunburnt country. When I was playing Forza Horizon 3 demo, to see the title screen and to get the immediate recognition of the Australian bush, the stark blue sky, and to see the last of our hero V8 Ute cars, the Ford FP-V, roll onto the screen, it connected me to our enormous outback. In Australia, we're facing the certain and imminent collapse of our car industry, and we're seeing a surge in the urbanisation of the nation. This game, to me, seems to be the last hurrah of the spirited outback, which I knew. What is not authentic in the game, however, is the contemporary soundtrack. The radio station seems to be tagged on as putting a pop song on the end credits of a film just to sell the CD soundtrack when it's really not linked to what we're seeing at all. In Australia, a car which is tuned by a manufacturer for local conditions does not.
So that's where we lost
Oh,
it.
I want to hear more.
I know. I first thought I was like, "Oh, what did I do?" I thought I did something wrong, and then no, that's all there was. So I don't know where we lost it, but apologize. That's what we have. So Andrew, do feel free to leave some. Maybe we've got it was
Please
a
do.
minute and 20 seconds, so that's like 80 seconds. I don't know if we have a cutoff on our voicemail.
No, there
I
isn't.
didn't think ours did. Had any limit, right?
Well, maybe it's something new.
We'll have to double check on that. So
Yeah.
But and Rob, I don't know if you're reading the Twitch, but people are thinking you're an animatronic because you're not moving, and they're talking about how many times you've blinked. Dark Christoph
I'm
said
gonna-
we spared no expense on a Rob bot.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah.
That's funny.
So I did post the code in the Twitch room for Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. If you guys did take, if anyone took it, please let me know. Because if no one in the room is taking it, if you already have it or whatever, then I'm going to I'll say it here so our audio listeners can have a shot at it as well. All right. Takes us to emails. We've got the two of them again, both from Nightlord 40K. And Rob, this is where you earn your paycheck.
All right, here we go.
Make sure
So
you move
first-
a little bit while you're reading them so everybody knows you're not a robot.
Well, I can't move because I need my microphone space.
All right.
All right, so first one is from, Nightlord 40K. I'm a huge Xbox fan and supporter, but I am also a gamer first, so I do play PlayStation for their exclusives. During the last PlayStation conference, they announced that the launch PlayStation 4s and the Slims would receive an update to support HDR, like the Xbox One S. Well, I did indeed receive the update and went to settings, and as they said, the feature was included in the update. I activated the HDR setting on the console and then loaded up Resistance Shadowfall to check out the HDR. And I noticed absolutely
No. Sorry.
what?
Killzone. That's Killzone Shadowfall.
Okay.
Are you reading? Did I miss that? I thought I corrected it in there.
Oh, there's
Because
a
he sent me an email about
second
that.
one. Okay, yeah, I'm reading the second one now.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
'cause
thought I'd updated. My bad. He corrected it, so he knew it
Okay.
was Killzone. Resistance is one Sony title. Killzone's
Yeah.
another. So he
so
called me. I
okay,
guess I missed it in the updates. Sorry.
okay, so loaded up Killzone Shadowfall to check out the HDR and noticed absolutely nothing different. I have a 40-inch Samsung 4K UHD TV that supports HDR10. It meets the specs required completely, but there's absolutely no difference at all. The Xbox One Fat and the base model PS4 support HDMI 1.4, and the Xbox One S and the PlayStation Pro support HDMI 2.0. I was pretty sure that the 2.0 was required for HDR output, and that is why the launch Xbox One will not support it. I've become very skeptical about the actual function of HDR on the launch model PlayStation because it changes nothing in image quality at all on the launch PS4. I really think this is an underhanded update to the PS4 to make the appearance that the PlayStation has an HDR feature like the Xbox One S, when in actuality, it is a setting that you can turn on and off that does absolutely nothing. If you guys own a PS4, have you experienced this and what do you think? I think this is a pretty low thing for Sony to do to make the appearance that the launch PS4 has an HDR feature just because the Xbox One S does. Yeah, it's pretty shady if that's the case.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Like Christoph said, Digital Foundry will definitely be testing, and they'll have this out, and we will definitely share either way. I'm sure someone will say, "Yep, it's there," or "It's not," and we'll let you know. We if it is great, that's cool. Then I hope that Microsoft's able to answer and do some kind of software update as well. But I
Yeah.
really kind of think that I think Christoph and Nightlord 40K are onto something here. They're both saying the same thing. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you got to have the hardware to be able to do it. So
Oh heck yeah. All right. So that's it for the community stuff, right?
and what was were the were these emails both the same? No, they were different, right?
The bottom one is the updated one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Duh. So we only have one email from him.
Yeah, so I switched to the bottom one after you corrected me.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Thank you for the voicemail. So let me get back over here and change my image correctly. So what is the next one? We are on
Twitter?
Twitter. So twitter.com/this Xbox Life to follow our Twitter feed.
Or we also have new links. So to follow us on Twitter, yeah, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/Twitter. It'll take you there. You can get to our Facebook group by going to thisxboxlife.com/Facebook.
Sweet. Nice. I'll have to update the images. All right, Rob.
Yes.
What's new this week?
Good question. This week's retail releases are anybody's guess. We've got a couple of things. Let's see here. What's today's date? 18th. Okay. Destiny Rise of Iron. Is that one coming out?
Yeah, I do believe
We
it's
don't
this
trust
week.
these lists anymore.
I don't trust the list, but I do believe Destiny is this week.
Okay. Killer Instinct Definitive Edition? Or is this a new season?
This will be season 3?
3? I think, yeah, 3's right. Destiny the Collection. Batman the Telltale Series Episode 2, Children of Arkham. Game called Last Fight. Also Dear Esther. Firewatch. We talked about that one briefly last week. Virginia. Eventide Slavic Fable, maybe. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for this week. And for the Xbox 360, we're looking at a slow website. We're looking at, here we go. I guess nothing.
Nothing at all. What we're looking at is an upgrade to the Xbox One. That's what you have in your future. All right.
Are they going to add 4K to the Xbox 360, Mark, through an update?
They should, because the PS3 can do it.
They're going to add the PS4 update. If you apply the PS4 updates to your 360, you can get 4K.
Sure, why not? That makes sense.
Exactly. So that was it for the retail releases this week. Games with Gold just switched a couple of days ago, about 2-3 days ago. We're recording this on the 18th of September. So for Xbox One, you have a couple more weeks to grab Earthlock Festival of Magic. I've heard this one's actually not too bad. And then Assassin's.
I loaded that up. I turned it off about 2 minutes later.
Yeah, it really reminds me of some of these mobile games that some people are just crazy about.
I just couldn't. Well, this was the one I think where I was like, you were a girl walking into a school to talk to somebody, and I was bored immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I never even got to the game. I was like, oh boy, I'm done. It's one of those right off the bat. I don't even want to bother with it. It's like, okay, this is why it's free, and I've heard it. Yeah, same thing, good stuff, but I couldn't.
Yeah, you didn't judge it, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I never gave it a chance. But
Yes.
You gotta hook me. Come on, I got other things to do. I got other games to play. If you can't hook me right off the bat, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. And then also the new one for the second half of September and early October is Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. I played the India one all the way through. The China one's not too bad. I need to go ahead and finish that. There's also one more, the Russia one. I've actually enjoyed these a fair amount, so that's a good one right there. For Xbox 360, we have Mirror's Edge. So grab that one if you haven't grabbed that one already. And also keep in mind that Mirror's Edge is a backwards compatibility title so that you can play it on your Xbox One.
Right.
Then also, if you make any purchases on Amazon, make sure to use our Amazon affiliate link. Just go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon. Each and every time that you make your purchases on Amazon, just click through the little affiliate banner that we've got over there. Each and every time doesn't cost you anything extra. We get a little finder's fee for sending you their way, and it definitely helps out the show. Also, if you're on iTunes, find the show, give us a 5-star rating and a little bit of a review. and we will read your review on a future show. And then also, the more reviews that we get, the more chance we have of becoming a featured show. And you definitely want to be a featured show. So that's about it. Do you have anything else you want to say in closing there, Mark?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah, ditto. So 404 is a wrap.
Woohoo! All right. Well, we thank you guys for joining and participating each and every week, and we'll hopefully have Brun on here next week. And
Yep.
if you guys see us, hit us up on live, and we'll be playing some Star Trek Online. Woo!
All right.
All right. I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody.